pepper in your day is getting more. We're adding more. Anyway, right now, here's a look at your almanac. 93 degrees was the high today. Our average high is 94, so even our average is starting to get up there a little bit more. Satellite radar imagery, we did see a few passing showers there across Aransas County and up into Refugio County over this evening. A few little rogue lightning strikes as well, but for the most part, we're starting to clear out. Rain mostly still staying to our north, and we're slowly starting to see the rain shift a little bit further away from the hill country as well, but there will still be a little bit of rain overnight. 80 degrees tonight in Corpus Christi. The tide at the beach, by the way, has been running pretty high at high tide, and that's thanks in part to our fairly not quite so new, but our recent new moon. 94 degrees for your high tomorrow, and we will be dealing with some hazy conditions. Heat index values will be around 100 to 105, and our heat stress is starting to return. Look at these numbers. 94 your high in Corpus Christi. That's our average high, so it's not coming as a shock, but we are starting to near the triple digits once again in the brush country. We're getting up to 97. Falfurrias, Alice, George West could reach 98 in Freer. And guess what? Temperatures are only going up into next week. So heat stress a little bit more emphasized as we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you're going to work out in the heat next week, make sure you're hydrating a little extra over the weekend because we're going to start to notice the heat getting worse. Here's our upper level low that's responsible for the hill country flooding. It's still hanging out, but high pressure is going to work to kind of cut off some of that moisture flow, help wrap up some drier air in that area of low pressure, but we're still under a flood risk in Big Bend country, into far west Texas, out toward El Paso. So flooding still something we're watching, but it's drifting a little bit more north and west than the hill country into the weekend. We are also watching an area of low pressure that has a chance, a low chance, but a chance of developing into a tropical feature into next week. Now, the sad news as a surfer is that this low is going to mostly hang out closer to land over there in Florida and not really going to turn up our wave action unless it gets much stronger than anticipated before it crosses over the peninsula there. But yeah, overall, it doesn't look like it's going to turn up too much in the wave action department across our Gulf. High pressure starts to overtake central United States, and what that means is we could still see a rogue shower pass through, but for the most part, it mostly means hot temperatures are returning. So the beach is always a good place to go. Air temperature tends to stay in the lower 90s and upper 80s this time of year at the beach. Our water temperature right now is around 84 degrees. Surf has been nice with the high pressure producing that onshore, steady onshore flow. So we do have 3-foot waves every 6 seconds, but we're not going to get that swell that comes with low pressures in the Gulf. UV index is looking very high to extreme as we head into the weekend because we're starting to clear our cloud coverage out a bit more. Saharan dust is still impacting the Gulf. We do have a chance of development, as I mentioned there, near Florida. Not a threat to Texas. This feature in the eastern Atlantic, also not a threat to Texas, and it's starting to weaken pretty dramatically as it's interacting with a thick plume of that Saharan dust. Our forecast does keep the dust rather dusty into the weekend. It falls. We see a little bit less dust, hopefully a little bit more blue sky into Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. 90s on the board for your Friday. Wind out of the south-southeast in the morning, southeast in the afternoon, and our temperatures are heating up. So here's that low. It's starting to move out. We still have some storms in the San Angelo area, and then as I mentioned, off toward El Paso over the weekend. And your 7-day forecast, sunshine returns next week. Saharan dust still very prominent in our skyline. Friday through Tuesday, we still may notice a hint of it into Wednesday and Thursday, but it won't be quite as thick out there.